the station of unlimited possibilities, presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. Tonight we have a very, very special show. We have the amazing authors of the Thrive, Grow, Thrive Anthology. Congratulations, ladies.
Yay! Thank you.
Thank you.
But before we get started, we would like for each author to introduce themselves, starting with our amazing visionary author, the one and only Dr. Marcy Ross.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here, Ashley. Thank you so much for making room at the table for the Thrive Girls. I'm Dr. Marcy Ross. I'm the visionary behind the Thrive, Grow, Thrive brand, and I'm just thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to be talking about this great body of work that we've done and putting it out there to help all women not just live to survive, but to live to thrive. And so that's why we're here. You're going to have a chance to get up close and personal with these amazing women and just love the brand as much as we do.
Yes. Super congratulations, Dr. Marcy, and I want to commend you for creating this space and bringing more women to the table with you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So next we have the amazing Ashley Cruz.
Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to be a part of this project, a part of this book. I'm Ashley Cruz. I'm one of the co-authors in the Thrive Girl, Thrive book, and I'm just super excited, and I'm so happy that this is going on, and thanks, everyone, for tuning in.
Well, super congratulations, Ashley. Can't wait to dive into your chapter tonight.
Yes, can't wait.
Next, we have the amazing Kathy Upshire. She's a contributing author as well.
Yes. Ashley, thank you so much for just giving us this platform to get the word out about this amazing book and this amazing visionary, Marcy. She is just wonderful. So I'm just excited to be a part of something that God has given her for us. But to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm a wholeness strategist. I'm an author, speaker, and wellness coach. I'm also the CEO and founder of Broken Wings. It's an online coaching business. I help women who have lost their sense of identity and power. And I help them to not only reclaim it so that they can live their lives with dignity and resolve, but I also help them break free from the clenching jaws of their past. And I do this by taking them on their own personal journeys to wholeness, healing, authenticity, self-acceptance, and self-love. I'm also a certified crisis advocate for victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. And I'm also a minister as well. Been in the ministry a little over 30 years. And I'm just excited to just be a part of this amazing book.
Yes, super congratulations, Kathy, and welcome to the table. You are doing some amazing things. Can't wait to dive into your chapters. Now it all makes sense. Next, we have the amazing Dr. Leslie Hodge.
Hi, everybody. I am Dr. Leslie Hodge. I bring you greetings from Indianapolis, Indiana. Ashley, thank you for this opportunity. Dr. Marcy, thank you for having the vision and sharing the vision with us. I can't wait for women to get a hold of this great project and just really, really begin to make that shift from surviving to thriving. So, again, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Excited to have you back at the table, Dr. Leslie. Can't wait to dive into your chapter.
I can't wait either. Thank you, Ashley.
You are welcome. Dr. Lisa Green, the amazing Dr. Lisa Green.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you again for having me. I am the new author to the group, and it's been incredible being surrounded by all these beautiful, awesome women that are doing great things. And I am a practicing clinician for over 18 years in clinical psychology, so I'm taking myself from behind the desk and now coming out in front of the desk and just kind of sharing the wealth of knowledge that I've learned over the years as a clinician, and just motivating, encouraging, and using those nuggets to inspire and create emotional health in those that I work with. So it's exciting.
Well, welcome and congratulations, Dr. Lisa, and welcome to the table, and welcome to the family of being an author.
Thank you, thank you.
You are welcome. Next, we have the amazing Makita House.
Hi. I'm Makita House. I'm in Kansas City, Missouri, originally from Los Angeles, California, and I am so thrilled to be with each and every one of the Thrive Girls. My life is forever changed. I am so grateful and blessed to be a part of this group. I am on the radio, Stepping into Wholeness. I also am certified for Back to Life coaching. Also do several different projects and have an LLC 501c3, which is called Wishful Wellness Network, where I am able to continue to bring on people to assist the community in other cities to help them build their wellness, build their wholeness, also launch into products and just different avenues of their life. So I'm so glad to be here. I can't wait for the launch date and just see all of the possibilities that are in store for each and every woman on the call, and also for the ladies out there who want to be a part of Thrive Girl or who want to change something in their life and just continue to thrive.
Awesome. Congratulations, Makita. Super congratulations. Can't wait to dive into your chapter as well. So next we have Megan Copeland.
Yes, it's Megan Copeland. I am originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, but I reside in Houston, Texas, and I'm just excited about this opportunity. I'm grateful. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Dr. Marcy. Thank you, Thrive ladies, and I love you guys. You guys have become my sisters, and I'm excited to meet you guys, next week and continue to thrive and build on this movement. Thank you for having us.
I love it. This is a movement. Next, we have Meg.
Hey, good evening. So I am calling in from Miami, Florida. I am so excited to be a part of this project. My vision literally has been to wake up as many people as I can possibly to basically stop walking numbly through their life and coming alive to the beauty of their dreams. So basically I'd like to consider myself somewhat magical as a butterfly. And I am one of the authors who, this is my second endeavor as an author, and I'm so excited to collaborate with such amazing and empowering women who are here also to inspire others to their greatness and to thrive. I've had the distinct pleasure of running a networking group called Shine, Spirit, Hope, Insight, and Networking event, where I've been able to even take this kind of spirit and also provide educational scholarships for young, innovative leaders that are coming behind to basically pay it forward and keep that momentum going. So I'm super excited to be a part of this call tonight, because I think the energy and the momentum that we're building together is going to even further our Marcy's mission of that vision that she has to bring everybody to the table, literally, Ashley.
Yes, I love it, and she definitely does it. She walks in that. Not just talks it, but she walks it. So super congratulations to you, Meg. Super congratulations.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Last but not least, the Dr. Tiffany Test.
Greetings, everyone. I'm so excited to be a part of this project, and thank you, Dr. Marcy and Ashley, for this opportunity to share on a live call for your listeners, and I am honored to be a part of the project. I am an integrative health and wellness therapist, and I am the executive director for Sacred Soul Wellness, and I hope that at least one person is touched by my story, but not only my story, but the other authors in the book as well. It is a movement not like no other, and I just hope that many people will be touched. And the book, again, is not just for women. It was written by women for women, but I believe that there is a story and an opportunity for the men in the women's lives to take something away in a positive way to make a change as well.
Well, super congratulations, Dr. Tiffany, and I want to welcome you to the table tonight, and can't wait to dig more into your chapter as well. So congratulations again.
Thank you.
Great job, lady.
So
great job.
Yes, they have, Dr. Marcy. Your vision has, this is a movement.
So proud of them.
This
yeah.
is a movement. So would you please talk more about this movement? And then I want to dig into your chapter, because you also wrote a chapter called Permission to Thrive.
I did. Thank you, Ashley. So the way that we see it, and many of us are, of course, we're all women. We are moms, wives, career women. We, like so many women, wear so many hats. And there's a story behind us being able to find ourselves in our life. Like sometimes we get lost in our own life. We get lost in some of the things that may have happened to us in childhood. And, we struggled. And what happened was something happened. We became, as Meg said, awakened. There was something that where we said, you know what, we don't just want to pattern ourselves after what happened to us, or allow the world to dictate who we want to be or how we want to show up. And there was a transformation inside of us. And it's not to say that we don't struggle or we don't have, with every new layer, there's new challenges. But it all starts with us being able to change from within and really, tap into our gift that God already put inside of us. And so my own awakening happened, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, I have all these things. I have the man, the money, the house, but I'm lost, And so part of it was just me opening up and being very transparent and authentic to a small group of women. And what I realized is that my story wasn't that different than many of the women I talked to. And I just thought, you know what, I need to, talking to them helped me, and banding together and hearing other women kind of share the same thing, it really, really helped me. And so I learned the power of women. I learned the power of, having those sister girlfriends that you can really be yourself and be open with. And so through that, this kind of birthed this desire to not just live, but to thrive. And I realized that I was living well, but I wasn't thriving. And I realized that there's a difference. And so that's really where this came from, me just wanting to share my truth, but also to get support. I think that's very critical for us to not to try to be a one-man band or one-woman band. We need support of other, especially women. But I agree with Tiffany. The men in our lives, our families, women are the 1 in 3 women die from heart disease. It seems like we're winning on social media, but we're not winning. We're actually losing our lives. 1 in 3 women die from heart disease. That's more than all cancers combined. And they attribute it to stress. Stress really, we try to just, we're super women. We can do all things, but we take care of everyone else and we don't take care of ourselves. And so having a group of women that can tell you, they always say, my friend says, check on your strong friend, right?
Yes.
And so you need to have a group of women, I think especially, but really to help you communicate with your family and your career, to help you balance. And so that's really kind of the spirit of the movement. It's really, how do we thrive? Because we're not thriving right now.
I love it, Dr. Marcy. Thank you for creating that space for women to be vulnerable and share that space, to share our, our thoughts and what's going on with us. And like you said, we often don't have a lot of people to talk to. And like you said, the strong friend, most of us, definitely our type A women are the strong friend, right? And we don't have that safe space.
Fact. Big fact, for sure. Yeah, I agree. And it brings me to my chapter. It's called Permission to Thrive. And I thought a lot about this. And what I realized in talking to women, because I also help women with being able to embrace self-care without guilt or apology, right? And so part of that is I talk to a lot of women. I do a lot of one-on-one coaching, group coaching, workshops, speaking at conferences. And when someone says, oh, you just live the life you deserve, or, live your best life, for us, especially women, we don't know what that means, because there's something that happened. There's a step before that, and that is we haven't given ourselves permission to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
And whether or not you're modeling your parents' behavior or your family lifestyle with your eating, or how your grandmother may have been able to do, a million things and still seem to have a smile on her face and cook dinner and, and sew up, your clothes and clean the house and be the church mother. And a lot of times we feel like failures because we can't model that, and we don't know how to really talk about, what is important to us. We don't give ourselves permission to do things differently. And so I wanted to talk about permission to thrive, because I think that is the missing piece to women living their best life, or just feeling like they deserve to live a life that's not full of stress and, poor eating habits and, bad relationships with their spouse and, all these things that we lock away in the closet and we don't talk about. And so I was very transparent in my chapter about the challenges I had in my marriage. I'm trying to be everything for everyone and losing myself, the way that I looked at my life as a checklist. Education, check. Big house, check. Fancy car, check. Husband, check. Kids, check. Job, check. And on my checklist, I lost Marcy. And so I talk about that and how I was able to find myself again, and that the way that my marriage was saved was because I saved myself first, which is, I think, for many women, is counterintuitive, And so, this book is real. It's real life, We're not faking it till we make it. We are speaking our truth, and we're also giving strategies to help each woman who reads an opportunity to follow some of these steps that we took to kind of see the light in a tunnel. And so it's a book for every reader, and I agree wholeheartedly with Tiffany. It was written for women, by women, but it really is a great read for anyone who loves a woman or, who supports a woman.
And when I say it was an amazing book, Dr. Marcy, when I say you all are really, like you said, giving the strategies, very vulnerable, sharing your, thoughts and your experiences in just real life, right? And I love the authenticity, being authentic and just being upfront. We sometimes, like you said, social media, everybody wants to have it all together, but we're not happy inside, right? We're just what we're supposed to be, right?
Yep.
So I love it.
Right.
So we have Ashley Cruz, who wrote about breaking barriers. So Ashley, tell us about your chapter. Tell us more about your chapter and what you want readers to get from it.
Okay, hello everyone. I am Ashley, as she mentioned, and I wrote about breaking barriers. The reason why I chose breaking barriers is because I felt like that was something that I did throughout my whole life since a small child. There were so many obstacles and so many barriers that was in the way of me and my family being successful that I felt like I was only surviving. So in my chapter, Breaking Barriers, I basically talk about how I overcome some of the barriers that was in my childhood, things that I experienced, things that I went through at such a young age, and I also go up until my adulthood, even trying to get into the workforce, trying to build my career, and every time that I was brought up, how many times I got knocked back down and how I kept going. Life has many challenges, and not a lot of people can overcome those challenges, and it could be very easy to give up. And there's many times that I wanted to do that, I even mentioned, but I found a way to get over that. And every time there was a negative that happened in my life, I changed it into a positive. So if I felt like I was rejected from a job, I went to get a certification so the next job couldn't reject me. Like, I always try to make sure that I would have something more to offer so that I could get more things put back into my life. So that's kind of, where my chapter is going, touching on a few things around that area.
And what stood out with me in your chapter was this excerpt here. I had to start looking at myself. Was I the source of all the negativity and turmoil in my life? Even with the education and determination, was my energy causing this tension in my life? I mean, I have visited a place that is most people's dream, and somehow I will find the worst to say about it, never focusing on the good I was able to experience. So could you elaborate on that excerpt a little bit more? Because that really stood out to me in your chapter.
Yeah, so because, as I mentioned, there were so many barriers in my life, it also made me feel like if I got too happy when stuff went good, I knew there was something that was going to take away my happiness. So I wouldn't take myself to being fully elated when I had certain rewards because I was nervous or scared that the next thing would be either a failure or another challenge or something that would come and take away my happiness. So I had to look at myself and say, all right, so do I want to stay in this negative mindset? Do I not want to enjoy my victories in full because I'm scared of what might take place after that? Or should I change my mindset and always be positive and you know, for any situation that come my way, no matter what the outcome should be, I should always remain positive and keep my mind in a positive state. And then maybe I won't have those barriers or challenges or any negative instances taking away my happiness because I'm always going to be happy if I stay in a positive light. So that's why it goes like, oh, I looked in the mirror, I had to look at myself, I had to review my thoughts. Am I the source of causing all of this negative energy? Because I don't celebrate my victories to its entirety because I'm scared that I would get knocked back down. So that's where I was going with that part of my chapter. I wanted to change myself and see if my life would change after that.
I love your story, by the way, and you're right.
Yes, that was awesome. Thank you.
Yes, it was. You know,
that was, everybody can relate to that.
Yeah,
right.
Mindset, right?
I know that's right.
What I wrote about is reality for a lot of people. There's a lot of challenges that everybody goes through, you know, and most of the time it's easier to just give up. So I wanted to be as transparent and relatable as I could in my chapter.
And sometimes I think some people are afraid to celebrate their victories because they're scared. They're dimming their light for other people because they're worried about what people might think, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it was me.
That's good.
Even now, sometimes I catch myself, but, you know, I have a lot to be thankful for.
Well, thank you for sharing your story because I know a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of people. So thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
So, Cassie, let's talk about your chapter. Tell the listeners about it, and then we can dig deeper.
Okay. Well, I didn't specifically write a chapter, but I wrote Power Boosters. The Power Boosters came from my book, my newest release, Woman, Find Thyself. And so the Power Boosters, the reason why they're even called Power Boosters is because during the time I started this journey, what I considered a journey to wholeness and healing, at the time I didn't have a name for it. In fact, I didn't even call it a journey. It's just that I was in such bad condition. I was in so much pain, and I walked around in pain all the time. There was always something happening or going on that caused me to be hurt, to be disappointed, you know, to have me somewhere, you know, being depressed and despondent, and I was just in this condition all the time. And so one day I just realized, and I had came to the realization that I can't do this. And this went on for years. And so I went on this journey. I know now that's what it was, a journey, because I knew something had to change, or else I just can't go on any further. So I went on this journey, and I started, you know, really doing some inventory of just Kathy, me, what was going on, and I stopped focusing on the external world and started focusing on the internal. So I started going through this process of looking at this, why did this hurt, and why does this hurt, and why, you know, when this person rejected me, it didn't faze me, you know, at all, but when they rejected me, you know, I was traumatized. Why, you know, so I started asking why. So going through this whole thing, and what I discovered is that there was a common thread to everything I started asking myself, and that common thread was power, and my lack of power, my lack of personal power, And so that's where the power boosters came about. Because I was in so much pain. I was in such bad condition because I didn't understand the connection between my lack of power and the state of my emotional well-being. And what I had done is that I had given the responsibility, because power is responsibility. That's what it is in a nutshell. Power is personal responsibility. And what I had done, I had given the responsibility of my happiness and my well-being to anyone who came within inches of me, and I got disappointed every time. And one of the things I mentioned in the book is that for every disappointment I encountered, another wound was added to my already emotionally disfigured body, disfigured soul. And on any given day of the week, you just pick one, you're going to find Kathy somewhere licking her wounds and desperately trying to figure out how to soothe myself. But when I went on this journey to reclaiming my power, my lost identity, my wholeness, that's what I discovered. I discovered also that the closer I got to my journey to wholeness, to healing, the closer I got to that, the less pain I felt. And then the more responsibility I took for my own life and its outcomes, the less pain I was in. And when I say less pain, I mean, when I say less, I'm talking about it was considerably less. And that's when I knew I have to keep going. Whatever this is, this thing called power, and this thing that I'm reclaiming and I'm taking on, it's working. And that's when I vowed that I would never give the responsibility of my emotional well-being and my happiness to anyone, because happiness is an inside job. And then I say, if you're looking for someone else to create it for you, you're committing emotional suicide by firing squad. It's as simple as that.
Oh, so powerful, Kathy. Ooh. Okay.
Wow.
That
was a power booster right there.
That's right.
And that was the one that stood out that I was going to read, but you pretty much have already, that was so great. It was so excellent. Because
you know what? See, when I get to talk about these power boosters, I can go all day. So I'm not finished. I'm just stopping.
Well, thank you for creating that space, because a lot of people don't understand that, it is an inside job. We got to be healthy inside and out. We really got to be happy, and it starts from the inside internally. And we can't give our power away to other people and expect to be happy. So we're going to keep it'll keep being the same circle again, over and over again, until we really figure it out.
Yes, absolutely.
So thank you, Kathy, for sharing your amazing story. Dr. Leslie, let's talk about your chapter.
Yes. So my chapter is titled Rejection to Reflection, See Beyond the Moment. And that's a word that we don't like to talk about, right, because it usually brings up those powerful feelings and those emotions, but we've all been rejected. But I really wanted to focus on not just the rejection that we are probably most familiar with as far as relationships, but rejection in the workplace, rejection in the church house, rejection among family, and how you deal with that, and how you can literally, the way you think about it, you can shift how you think about it as far as rejection to reflecting on that and learning from that and seeing beyond that moment. And that's why that was so important, because I have experienced rejection in all different areas. And it was really, I will say, the one that was professional rejection, not getting the job that you know you're qualified for, not being called back for the interview. Those types of rejections can either, I would really say, suffocate your dream and what you feel about yourself, or you can really take that time to resuscitate what has tried to die and resuscitate that and begin to live that life that you know that you've been called to live. And so, of course, we can't talk about living without well, at least I can't, talk about living the life that you've been called to live without including God in that. And so I hope the reader understands that you have to stand on that truth and start believing that truth, and that truth that God says about you, despite the moment of rejection that goes on. You reflect on that moment and see what you can learn from that. When those promotions didn't happen, I could have said, you know what, we'll forget it. Well, maybe I'm not cut out for this, but I knew I was. And so I took those opportunities to get other certifications, get other experience, not sabotage myself, but really step up to another level. You know, we tend to try to, I'll show them, they missed out. But you're really doing damage to yourself. So instead of doing that, reflect on that moment. You know what? I didn't get the promotion because of X, Y, and Z. Or maybe I need more experience in this. Maybe I need more training in that. Get that training. Position yourself for the next moment. And so that's where the rejection to reflection, seeing beyond the moment, came from.
I'm over here speechless, Dr. Leslie. I mean,
I know. Yeah, you ladies are on fire. I mean, seriously, you, as always bringing your A game. I'm over here, yeah.
And I didn't want to read an excerpt that just stood out to me in your chapter, Dr. Leslie. Life is filled with making decisions after decision after decision. The reality is not making a decision, it's making a decision. It's how you choose to process rejection is a decision. How you choose to react to rejection is a decision. Your response to rejection is a decision. Let's face it, rejection is part of living. It is a part of life. Everyone is not going to like you, invite you, book you, support you, vote for you, or include you for various reasons. But their decision should not change how you view yourself. Can you just think about, I mean, that just took me out.
Look, boy, let me just say this. When you read it, I was like, yeah, say that, girl, because that's what it's about. That's really what it's about. It is about making a decision. And so you can make that decision to stay there, to take on that thought process that person or that situation that caused the rejection. You can choose to believe that, or you can make a decision to say, you know what, it happened, I'm moving on. It happened, I'm going to grow stronger. It happened, I'm going to get wiser. It happened, I'm going to position myself so it doesn't happen again. Make a decision, because when you don't and you sit there, you begin to wallow in it, it begins to spill over. And I said this before, when you don't handle rejection in any area, if you're not careful, it will spill over into other areas of your life. Whether you recognize it at the moment or not, it will spill over. So you have to make that decision to deal with it at that moment. At that moment, and see that it's beyond. See that there's more ahead for you than is behind you. And it's about shifting your mindset, shifting your things up that are above and not beneath, and that's where it goes.
I love it. Shifting your mindset and knowing that rejection is part of the process. I love it, Dr. Leslie.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was another power boost, I feel like. That was awesome. That was amazing.
Yes. So we have Dr. Lisa Green. Would you tell us about your amazing chapter?
Wow, these are some amazing women here. My chapter is Unbound. It's about keeping it together and finding your rhythm as a mother. Of course, I chose this chapter for one. I am a mother of two teen boys. And then, of course, I work with children. This phase of my life, I've been working with a lot of kids. And when you work with children, of course, you're working with the families. And more times than not, it's the mother that you're interacting with. So I can identify with being a mother, having kids, dealing with the issues that come with raising a kid. And, you know, as a mother, we bear a lot, especially with our children. And we set the tone for our household. We set the attitude, the tone. And if we're not healthy emotionally, then we are no good for anything else, especially our children. So it's kind of finding that rhythm, finding that balance, and, you know, just kind of owning your story, where you are, what you're going through, and being able to see life as a journey, and that is a marathon, not a sprint, and being able to kind of take those mindful moments to kind of stop, assess where you are, figure out what's going on, and to just kind of take where you are, take inventory, self-awareness, and growing from that, just knowing your shortcomings, knowing what you need to do, and owning it. There's no right or wrong story. It's your story, and being able to identify and own it, that's part of the process. So that's where kind of I'm kind of taking my chapter from just kind of looking at yourself, where you begin, and especially the simple thing of giving birth and what that story is about, to how it evolves into you raising a life and how you evolve in that process, because it is a parallel process where you're constantly growing. It's fluid. It's not fixed.
I love it, Dr. Lisa. And I want to read an excerpt from yours that stood out. Being a mother is a process. Celebrate the victories and keep your joy in the tough times. Be willing to go through the process. Don't stop being your best because you aren't where you think you should be. Be willing to reevaluate regularly your approach as a mother. Don't just do something because you have always done it that way. Ask yourself, why am I doing what I am doing? See what is working, what is not, and change as a woman and mother.
Yes.
Powerful.
Amen.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a process.
So if you could elaborate on that a little bit more for me, Dr. Lisa.
Again, it's just really stopping, really taking a look, being willing. Because I think sometimes we tend to gloss over our lives. We tend not to want to be introspective. It's really hard sometimes, especially if you feel you're not where you're supposed to be. I think we set these benchmarks for ourselves, or we look at what others are doing. We think the grass is greener on the other side. But it's just really taking inventory of you. This is your life. This is your journey again. This is your path. What am I doing? What needs to be fixed? What needs to be changed? And really allowing yourself to change, because change is hard. You know, we get into this rhythm of doing something, and it's like, okay, but I've been doing this way, and it may not be working. And it's like, okay, you need to accept the fact this is not working. I need to tweak it. You need to be able to listen, to kind of have your circle of friends, that your grounding foundational things that you need to be able to thrive and not just survive, because we do go into survival mode. Too often we go into survival mode as opposed to just kind of wanting to see the longevity of what we're doing and what we're planning into our lives, our kids' lives, and just thriving from that. So just really taking that moment, being mindful.
And thank you for sharing your story and creating that space for our mothers. Let them know we're not by ourselves. We can have balance.
No, we're not.
Right, Dr. Marcy?
Okay. I'm telling you, every woman can find themselves in this book. Every woman, and even like you said, even a men, it really will give them insight into the challenges that a lot of women face, or a lot of things pain that we hide, even from ourselves. So, this is a great body of work, and you guys are on fire tonight.
Yes, they are. We have Makita House next. Please tell us about your chapter.
Yes, my chapter is called Self-Love, and my chapter basically was about, I just felt that everyone is dealing with loving big, dreaming big, and wanting to love others who they're connected to, but the self-love part, from being taught at a young age for a girl to a woman, always has been neglected. So it was personal for me on the wellness side, where loving yourself after you leave your doctor, and they always tell you it's your responsibility on the areas that you take care of your health and your wellness. So I wanted to add to that and just let people and women know that you have to remember the word self-love, which means that you have to understand that, yes, it's your responsibility, but also to love yourself and plan and get things taken care of for yourself. And it can be crippling to someone's ears to hear that, hey, it's your responsibility, when you just heard, I have to lose 100 pounds, or hey, I have to have a surgery and recover, or hey, because we want support. But if we are able to put the good, creative, positive energy, rejuvenating words into those transitions, those positions, in those situations, then we're able to develop a mindset shift where we're able to work on our self-love, and we can gravitate more easily, and we can go into what we need to do to help us in loving ourselves and loving other people, and it'll help us in the area of mood swings and different things like that. Women get mood swings a lot when they don't understand things. So if we're able to understand that, hey, okay, this tragedy just occurred, this transition just happened, But now I'm practicing self-love. And my self-love means, hey, if I need 24 to 48 hours to figure this out, that's my self-love. If I need to find a person to talk to, that's my self-love. And it's basically going past the slogans, which say, know who you are, love who you are, but then also saying, hey, if I have to understand, if I have panic attacks, I have to figure out what my self-love is. I have to figure that out personally for me. And basically what it's saying is now I don't have to be, victimized or talked about or feel inadequate or insecure, or yes, we do deal with insecurity, but now I'm able to be tangible. There's some changes going on. There's some actual realization of what I actually have had in my history, and now I'm able to say, hey, I can work and still deal with that. I know it's a lot of people with MS and different even situations where they're struggling with the disease, but as you figure out a plan and say, hey, I want to build that self-love in there, that key where I can love myself as I'm dealing with things. And that was the main source of what. And then also another area is being able to explain yourself better, knowing why you're trying to explain yourself. Why are you over-talking? Why are you overwhelmed? Why are you not able to express yourself? And then understanding, hey, I need to love myself and figure this out and slow down and care about myself. And that's why I wrote the book. It was all about helping a person on a deeper level of what they've already been taught by a teacher or a doctor or even a ministry leader, and now saying, okay, I just got the sermon, I'm going home now, and now how do I actually put it in place? How do I love myself from that message I just heard? How do I love myself from my level, on my level? They're on the next level. How do I love me? How do I care about me? How do I still walk in my shoes? How do I walk in my shoes if I had a divorce? Or how do I walk in my shoes when I'm going through something, or if I lost a child? How do I self-love myself? So that is where I was coming from, self-love. I don't know, I don't know how much time I have, but yeah, that's where I was coming from.
Well, I love it, and I love how you broke it down to the T, because, I'm over here like, I didn't think about it like that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we don't even know the tendencies sometimes, but we just, it's really got to realize the tendencies too and the red flags. So I'm like, oh,
yes. Yes.
So next we have Megan Copeland. Tell us about your chapter.
Yeah, so my chapter is entitled Mental Health and an Empowered Woman. So I talk about my struggle dealing with mental health as a child and as an adult. So growing up, my parents were never a part of my life. My dad walked out of my life when I was 6 or 7, and my mom walked out of my life when I was 8, and I didn't see her again until I was like 20, in my 20s or so. So I just talk about, the struggle, being bullied, being bullied by school-age kids when I was in school, as well as my family. I was abused, and, I talk about my abuse, my abandonment, and my rejection. And I talk about feeling unwanted. I talk about, why did this happen to me? My mom walked out of my life. My dad walked out of my life. Who wants me? Like, if they're walking out of my life, who wants me? So, I talk about also in my book about, living from house to house to house to house. I think I lived in about 50 houses or so by the time I was 12. So, and I was abused in every house that I lived in. And I was so angry, and I didn't know I was dealing with mental health issues until, much later in my life. I mean, there was one time where I got so upset at myself, and I think I was probably, maybe 14, 15, I scratched the left side of my face to all the skin started to come off. I was so angry. And, I just talk about that. And then, as I grew older, I just look in the mirror and say, oh, who wants you? Nobody wants you. You're ugly. You're fat. Your toes are ugly. Your skin is ugly. Your hair is ugly. So I would look at myself and just tear myself up. And so as I started to grow and surround myself with positive people, then I started to change my attitude, and I started to take care of myself. I started to eat better. I started to live, basically. I started to laugh more. And I really had to learn to forgive, because forgiveness, was something I didn't have in my life, right? So I was angry. I was so upset. And so basically, I talk about forgiveness in a book because I was held back, like Dr. Leslie said, held back from jobs, because I felt like, why am I being held back from jobs as well? I'm being rejected. But it was part of just really, opening up and forgiving people. And then once I started to forgive people, I had so much relief. I had started to feel happy. I started to get opportunities. I started to God started to just, just surround me with people who would enable me, who would encourage me, who would love me. And I talk about that in my book. And I talk about also, seeking counseling. At first, I would tell people, oh, I got to go to a counselor. Oh, something wrong with you? Are you crazy? And so I thought I was crazy as well, too. Now I was trying to empower myself, but then I learned, and like I said on my live with Dr. Marcy, I had to stop talking to people, and I had to start talking to God. Like, I really had to start talking to Him and going to Him for everything, because, sometimes when people when you have so many goals in life and people don't understand, they will tear you down. So like I said, I had to surround myself with women, like the Drive ladies, who would encourage me, who would love me, who would see me as who I was and not judge me as a person. And I still struggle with some mental health issues, but I've managed them over time. I don't struggle with as many, but I've managed them, and I've managed them through just self-care and just self-love and just accepting myself as who I am as a person and not caring what others think about me. And so that's my chapter.
Well, I can just tell the passion
good.
in your voice.
Wow.
I mean, I just want to thank you for just sharing your story, because a lot of people don't want to talk about mental health. And I know Dr. Marcy about to take this from me. Go ahead, Dr. Marcy. This right here.
I love it. I think you did a fabulous job. I think that was very well said, Megan.
Yes.
And I just want to read an excerpt of her chapter that really stood out to me. A lot of it did, but this one really stood out. After feeling hopeless and worthless for many years, I attempted suicide a few years ago. I was in a state of depression and suffering from a personality disorder. I was angry at myself and at the world for being birthed to parents who I felt didn't care about me. I was mad. I was frustrated, and I didn't want to live in the world anymore. I felt hopeless. The night I decided to end my life by taking 70 pills was the night that changed my life.
Wow.
Yes. So
it's real. It's very real.
So it is real. Like I got frustrated one day, a couple of years ago, and I was living in a place with a roommate, an apartment with a roommate, and I invited one of my friends over. Like, she always, came over, so I left the door unlocked for her, and she told me that she would be a while. So I think I got a text from somebody. I don't know what happened, but I just started feeling hopeless, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done with people. I'm done living. So I literally took 70 pills. I didn't know I took 70 pills, but they pumped my stomach, so I got to the hospital, and they told me, my friend found me passed out. She called for help, and they told me if she had been 10 minutes late, I would have died. So I am so forever grateful for her, and so since then, I changed my life because I knew God wanted me here for a reason.
Yes, He did.
Yeah.
And so like I said, I started to live, and I talk about that. And it gets real after that. So
yeah. But you know what, listeners, you got to get the book, because this book right here, I can't.
Yes.
It's a powerful book. It's a Powerful book.
Mm-hmm.
Meg, let's talk about your story.
Okay, wow. Well, it's funny because the attorney in me is taking notes as to everything that everybody's saying, and I'm like, oh, yeah, look at how that flows. Look at what she says. Right. I'm like, Marcy's telling me, like, literally on this conversation, I am, as the author who's supposed to enlighten others, please, we all enlighten each other, right? I'm like, oh, well, she just said that she's giving me permission, right? And then your areas of rejection, for me, that's like failure in life is just showing you a better path, literally. Right. And then the balance is allowing yourself to make the changes. So to me, that means, like, clearly, I'm not fearing the unknown. I'm fearing of losing what is known. So I'm like, oh, my God, then the brainwashing goes away because, as Megan just spoke to, clearly everything can hit you down, but if you say, oh no, I'm not giving up on myself, I'm going to hold on to the what is aligned to my dreams so I can see it come alive, then you can just walk in whatever freedom that liberates yourself. And then we empower ourselves with Kathy, who's rocking the world by, coming out with the magical butterflyness, who doesn't even realize she does have that magical butterflyness, but she totally is. So I'm like sitting there thinking, okay, so what is my part in all of this? And literally, when I sat down to write my chapter with these beautiful women, I was like, one of the most important things for me, and coming from the background that I have, literally, seeking validation and approval from others for my entire life, getting that great job where my parents could be proud of you because it brings or promotes my family into this notion of service, which is a beautiful thing, I do tell you, but it has to be your thing, literally. And literally coming alive to your dreams means when you feel inside, your spiritual self, the God within, literally, because God works within us, literally. Yes. When you feel that that's not aligned to what that you are doing, and you're like terrified to jump out into this world of the unknown, realize that you can breathe so much better outside of a box than you can within. So one of the most incredible things that I actually use to empower myself, and the whole point of, the whole transformational journey of, stepping into the pathway that's going to allow me to shed all that no longer serves me, is to actually, pay attention, get curious as to who shows up, why they're showing up. And then, start to question and then be astonished and get excited. Because if you get to know me, some of my friends, like I work with now, like I do a lot of career transition, a lot of people are very scared of, jumping out into doing something else differently because they're worried about that security, which I get. I mean, literally, we have to all, pay our bills. But the interesting notion is if I told them, your need for these shackles, I think one of the speakers had just said, your need for those is limiting your actual potential to shine in this world, which, for me, it's kind of like, it's kind of like this light bulb goes off, like saying, so if I follow what makes me feel like my life is here now and I'm on this path, without this disease to please, and I don't give other people the authority or the control over how I live, then this incredible notion of the life I really dreamed of, envisioned, comes alive. So that gets to start to unfold, because then you get excited. And when you get excited, you meet people like who we're talking to right now in this circle, and whoever's listening, be that quite clear, because then it's like those people are the ones who are going to start showing up over and over in your life, literally. And then you got to tell about it. And I think that's what everybody here is doing, is like, oh, yeah, I was stuck before. And these, like, at least what I'm trying to do in my, here's some tools that are going to help you get started to realize, look in that mirror and say, oh, my God, there's so much there. I am beautiful. I am who I'm supposed to be in this world. I am, and then you can follow the I am with what other verb, whatever adjective, whatever anything that you want, and then you start this adventure that you call your life. And I just read this quote, and I have to share it because it just keeps resonating with me. It's an author called Anthony DeMello. He's a Jesuit priest, and he wrote, "Life is a banquet, and the tragedy is that people are starving to death." So literally, we stand at the table, like literally, I'm going back to the table analogy because that's actually, we're at the table. There's this profound wisdom in front of us. There's, manna, whatever. There's you feed your soul with whatever lays before you, and you are the only one keeping your hands tied behind you, literally. You're starving yourself to death because you don't feel that you're worthy. You're not giving yourself the permission. So if anything, this book, each chapter kind of is that nugget that says, yep, keep trying, keep going, don't stop. So, the illusion that we create for ourselves, the brainwashing that we've been, subjecting ourselves to because, we empower ourselves to make those choices. And I think someone else said the same thing. To basically, at whatever point in your life you are, whatever time that you need, that you're ready to say, okay, enough. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to do it my way. And that's pretty much what I try to start out in the chapter. I think I speak to one part. I love this because it came to me as I was writing it. It's a visual. It's like you're on the stage and the light is on you. And that's good. That's good because that's not a selfish act. That's a self-full act. And literally, we have to do that so that everyone around us decides to, yes, that's, because I benefit by seeing my sisters and my brothers, doing the same. And we collaborate from a place of healthiness, wellness, rather than depletion. And which, it feeds into the baseless emotions of our lives, the greed, the scapegoatism, the xenophobia, all the other stuff. But when we feel we're whole without blaming another, then that is when the party begins. And then literally that's the revolutionary starts, right? So that's pretty much mine in a nutshell.
Well, I love your chapter, Meg. I just want to read something that stood out, though, okay? Fear of the unknown kept me in a job that provided a good living but no longer aligned with my passion. It felt like I traded in my golden tiara for a golden handcuff. I love that.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's funny because one of the things that they always say in court is like, and literally it said over, but the judges too, I feel like these are the golden handcuffs. I go, oh, I don't want the handcuffs. I want the tiara. And meanwhile, like back at the ranch, everyone's like, what? Like they were like, where are you going? What are you like? And they're like, and I swear, I feel like while, everyone feels like there's some people that are significantly, questioning my choices and maybe a little envious, the other ones are like, you have to succeed, Meg, whatever that looks like, because we're here. We want to do the same thing. So I feel like whenever I want to give up, I'm like, oh, yeah, right. Like, I can do that now because I've, kind of showed up on this kind of public scale where, I put a lot – it's not even that I put a pressure on myself. I see it as I'm being held rather than, destined to doom. I'm kind of being held in this notion of freedom that I'm kind of creating out of my own journey.
Well, thank you for sharing your story. It's powerful. It makes sense with the butterflies. So, Tribe listeners, make sure you go read these stories. I'm telling you. Last but not least, Dr. Tiffany, tell us about your story.
Yes, hello. I am so inspired, and I can't wait to read this book myself. Oh, my God, you guys are amazing.
Right.
Right. So the title of my chapter is called More Than a Womb, and I wanted for every woman, it is my hope that when you read the chapter, that especially if you're suffering from certain conditions, that you know that you are more than this womb that we have and the purpose of it. So when you look purely by definition of the womb, it's an organ in the lower area of our body solely for holding a life. It is the seat of our soul. And I bet every woman can look back on a moment in their life and think about something that didn't kill them, but something inside of them died. And so when I think about the womb, it is a very sacred space for me, and it's a personal journey of my own. I suffer from fibroids and some other female issues that I feel like a lot of it probably, although it was a physical manifestation, it was an emotional one that, probably was fed by my diet, was fed by negative emotions, and it just manifested and grew as a non-cancerous growth in me that eventually I had to get rid of. And so when we look at the numbers of some simple common things that women suffer from. So 1 in 10 women of childbearing age suffer from polycystic ovarian syndrome. 30% of women get fibroids before they're 35. 80% of those women get the fibroid by the age of 50. 6.1 million women suffer from infertility. This is huge. And for those women that truly desire to have a family, to birth their own family, and they find out, they're thinking, oh, I'm young and I got all this time, I can travel and I can build my career and do all these other things and I can have the babies later, only to show up to the doctor and they say, oh, we got a problem. And so now they're investing financially and emotionally on this long journey, all about now wrapped up in having this baby that they thought, why has my body failed me? So I'm hoping that the chapter will speak to them in a way that they know that they are more than their inability to do this one thing as a woman.
I love it.
The womb.
That's the name of your chapter.
Yeah, and it's a place where women hold pain and love and joy and anger and peace and so much more. It's a place where, you know, we women that have suffered from emotional and physical sexual traumas, we hold those things. Women with multiple sexual partners, we hold those things. Those are spiritual exchanges. And so, you know, not everybody that we come in contact is a good fit match emotionally, physically for us. And so learning ways to protect not only our physical body but our emotional body, that womb as well, is very important. And so that's what I look to speak to.
I want to read an excerpt that stood out to me for yours. In order to permanently eliminate the negative mindset, we must first work on the mental cause of that way of thinking and figure out how to dissolve it. Proverbs 23:7 reads in part, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. It all begins with a thought. Our thoughts become physical manifestations of our joy and fear. Our words have the power to give life or to hurt. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the thought. And you hear people say all the time, be careful what you speak. You can speak life or death is in the power of the tongue. And so even when you find yourself going through those challenges, and this is an everyday practice for myself. You know, I look at myself as a healer and as a vessel to be there for others, to be their true, authentic selves with me, and know that it's a safe and sacred space. And so I choose my words when I speak to them very carefully. I'm mindful about that, but I then find that I'm not always mindful when I speak about that over my own life. And so, you know, each individual has to catch yourself in that moment. The words that you say, the things that you do, the thoughts that you have, your body remembers that it feels that. So whether you verbalize it or not, the fact that you thought it set something in motion on a cellular level for your body to receive that.
That's why it's so important for us to pour into ourselves, because we can't pour into other people if we don't pour into ourselves first. I love that, Dr.
Absolutely.
Right.
So listeners have heard these amazing chapters. I'm telling you, this is just excerpts. You have to get the book because these chapters are life-changing. So please get the book. I want to now talk to the amazing visionary because I want to talk about what it means to thrive and what does it mean to be a Thrive girl, and then we'll have some of the authors to jump in and tell us what it means to thrive and what it means to be a Thrive girl. Dr. Marcy.
Yes. I think, you know, as you heard from these amazing authors, it's all about your journey. It's all about awakening to the rhythm of your life. You know, I know as women, we feel beholden to so many people, whether it's our husbands, our jobs, our children, and like I said, we lose ourselves. So I think what I describe as thriving is just really understanding the power that you have within yourself
to not just live a life where you're surviving, whether you're paid well, you're living in a big, beautiful home, you got the best, shoes, you got your lashes done. You know within yourself that you are a facade for yourself. The outside world sees you as doing well, but for you, you know that you're just surviving. And that's really just saying, if when you're ready, there are loving arms waiting to just share their own stories with you, to share their own journey to revelation and to just becoming the person they were born to be, and still on their journey. So I think thriving is about becoming awakened to the rhythm to your own beat, right? So it's just that's what it's about. Not living to survive, but living to thrive, and knowing what that brings you, like really the true joy in life. And that's really what we want. And we want to share our own truths. How do we dig ourselves out of it? How do we do this? And then now that we're at this another level, we're taking a new kind of renewed mindset, right? We had to open up ourselves so that we can truly now really navigate our life with purpose and alignment. And that's really when we realize that we started to thrive. And it's not mean that we have a perfect life. Doesn't mean that we're doing it for the gram and all these things. We still struggle, but now with a better foundation of what we know to be true for ourselves. And so we have a network of other people that we have, we know that we can depend on, that we can be real with, and we're just able to show up in the world in a different way. And that's really what we just want to share, and hope that it enlightens or just supports another woman who may be going through or feel like she's alone. And you're not alone, and that's really what we want to tell women. You are not alone.
I love it. Living to thrive and sharing our own truths. I love that, Dr. Martin. I love that. So, Ashley, what does it mean to thrive, and what does it mean to be a thrive girl? What is your definition?
Thriving to me means to prosper. It means to flourish, to try and do new things, even if something or someone tries to stop you. It's so easy to give up when things get tough, but the real reward comes when you keep going. And I think that's what this whole Thrive Girl movement is about. Like Dr. Marcy just mentioned, letting everyone know that they're not alone and that there are going to be times where you might need encouragement, or you might need a sisterhood, or you just might need people in your corner to help uplift you and keep you going. And that's what this movement means to me, and that's what this movement is about. I think being a Thrive Girl is walking with confidence as a sisterhood, which is what we created doing this book, and being an inspiration for other women and girls in the world. Just continuing to be encouraging and encourage anyone to be the best that they can be. And that's what I feel like being a Thrive Girl is. And just being free and doing what you want to do with no regret and no bad thoughts about it, but just allowing yourself to be who you are and just continue to be an inspiration to other women.
I love it, Ashley. I feel the unity and the sisterhood that you all have, and I can tell by the way you all share your stories. I'm just loving the energy and the unity, so thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So, Cassie, what does it mean to thrive, and what does it mean to be a Thrive Girl?
Well, for me, I'll tell you for me, and I just really grabbed hold of this probably in the last 2 years, I want to say. But for me, what it means to thrive is to, there was this time where, I got caught up in this thing where I was always talking about what I want to do and what I'm going to do and what the Lord gave me this idea to do. And, so it's always about, being pregnant with something. And so I walked around with all of these babies in my womb and all of the, just carrying them around. But that's what I was doing. I was just carrying babies around that should have been born a long time ago. And so I got to the point where I got tired of talking about the baby I was carrying. I got tired of having conversations with other people about the baby they were carrying. And I got to a point where I said, I don't want to even talk about the baby. I want to talk about the babies we had. I want to talk about the this baby that you birthed, and those are the kind of conversations. So what happened was I kind of stopped talking about what I want to do, and I wanted to have conversations about what I did. That I went out and I did this and I did that. So for me, thriving means when God gives you something, to act on it and not carry it around so long until the baby dies. Because if that baby stays in there too long, they're going to go and cut it out. They got to get it out of there because the baby will be under stress, and I suppose if they're in there too long, it probably could kill them. But I wanted to have a baby, have the babies. And so that's and being a Thrive girl, I cannot tell you, this year, there have been so many challenges and so many things that the enemy has brought trying to keep me from birthing broken wings. And if I had not been a part of this group, because I had never experienced that before, where every little thing, and most of it was technical, which is really surprising because I can build a computer, but this other stuff was just like, I just couldn't, it was just crazy. But because of being a part of a team of women and being a Thrive girl, being a part of this energy and this force was carrying me to not stop, to not quit. You can't, and I mean hours and hours and hours and hours on stuff just not working and not happening. And so being a Thrive girl, it kind of pushes you. It's like, well, I'm not going to be the dud in the group. So, that kept me going. So that's what for me, that's what it means to be a Thrive girl.
I love it, Kathy, and I just can't wait to, and I can't tell everybody right now, but you just read the Power Boosters when you get the book, okay? Get the book. That's all I'm going to say. Dr. Leslie, I know you're about to give us something to take home with tonight. What does it mean to thrive, and what does it mean to be a Thrive girl?
What does it mean to thrive? I think thrive is living intentionally, living, not just talking about it, but doing it, shifting from wishing to doing, shifting from hoping to actually making it happen. Thrive is living and seeing beyond the moment. So you are not just doing things for yourself, but you're understanding that what you do is literally going to help someone else. So you don't become so fixated on how you're going to benefit, but how it's going to be of service to others. So to me, that's what a Thrive girl is and what thriving is. And I think a Thrive girl is authentic. She's authentic. She's intentional with her actions. She's intentional with what she says yes to, with what she says no to, because she understands the calling on her life, the purpose that has been placed in her, and really the, I will say, the actual plan that has to manifest, because it's all part of the bigger plan. So she understands her part in that. And so that's the Thrive girl for me. She knows that she has to show up, because if she doesn't show up, other people who are waiting on her to show up won't be able to show up. So it comes down to showing up, not just physically, but showing up and bringing all those things and experiences and knowledge and expertise, not to play on the words, but to the table and sharing and giving and understanding that when she gives, she's going to automatically receive. That's the Thrive girl.
I love it, Dr. Leslie. That's what you all are doing. Very authentic, sisterhood, unity. Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Dr. Lisa, what does it mean to thrive, and what does it mean to be a Thrive girl?
To thrive means taking inventory wherever you are in your life. I mean, life is fluid, so there are going to be many different things that you encounter, but being able to stop, to be mindful and be aware of what's going on, and to set those thoughtful moments for yourself that will allow you to thrive and not just survive. So thriving is just really a constant evolution of you. And like the other ladies have said, the other folks have said, being authentic, being real, and allowing yourself to understand, accept your journey, own it, and grow from it. So it's a constant growing, constant learning, and evolving of you. To be a Thrive Girl, my goodness, I mean, it's an awesome feeling to have a Thrive Girl group like this. Thrive Girl means that you are able to have a circle of influence, of people that can influence you to help you to grow, to take you out of those uncomfortable moments of growth and sharpen you so that you can kind of come out feeling stronger, healthier, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, to be able to reach the next goal in your life. So it's a constant evolution of you, pushing you to your limits to know that you are supported. There's that scaffolding underneath you so that you can thrive. And, girl, you can thrive with all of that.
I love it. Girl, you can thrive. Thank you, Dr. Lisa. Thank you. Awesome. So, Makita, what does it mean to thrive, and what does it mean to be a Thrive Girl? Makita on? No. Megan, what does it mean to thrive, and what does it mean to be a Thrive Girl? Hello?
Is she gone?
Okay. We have Meg on.
I am here. Yes, I
Okay.
You know, I'm still
okay.
here. You know, one of the things I think that when you say the word thrive to me, like literally it rhymes with come alive, but what that means really for me is that don't give up while the magic is happening. So if you continue to, keep in your mind that even those, kicks in the gut literally is really for this higher good. And I think there's even a Rumi quote that if everything is unfolding for your highest good, then you say, the greatest prayer you can ever reiterate is thank you. So even with all of the trials that you go through, and the fact that you're not giving up means that you never know how close you are or while you're in the midst of the magic unfolding, which is ultimately your perspective and how you see this life. And even like they were saying constantly, we have days. There's days that I could just, I have a closet and it has a little light in there and I sit in it and I just everyone leave me alone. That to me is thriving because I'm taking care of myself by, actually taking a moment to breathe. So if that's what it looks like on Monday, then at least Tuesday I can turn the corner and say, okay, I'm good, I'm back, So that is setting the terms for your life and how you play it, basically. And then, like you were saying before, it's claiming that golden tiara. Wear it on your damn head and hold your head high. And go out there into the world and just know that there's only one person like you and only one person who can share their story and their inspiration, wisdom like you, and own that. And that is ultimately what thriving means to me, and that you have the gift and opportunity to connect with others on the path is just the grace. So
I love it, Megan. I just want to say, I just love your energy. I love it. Love it. Dr. Tiffany.
Magical.
I know. So
y'all gonna stop making me bring up the rare here. Let's see. For me, it's more than just living or existing. It's flourishing, and it's being present in each and every moment, looking for your next best, and being a part of the Thrive Girl movement and a part of this group in particular. I remember when we first started out, and Dr. Marcy and I were talking through ideas and kind of where I might fit in the book. She and I both were getting chills as we were just throwing ideas back and forth. And I said to her, I said, at the end of all of that back and forth banter, I said, I hope these women feel that this book has been written for them and prayed over in advance for whatever it is that they need. And so for me to be a Thrive Girl, I feel like we've cultivated that relationship in this group. Each of us comes with a different talent to the table and a different level of experience and maturity. And so I think that I've been able to learn from each and every person in this group particularly. And so I'm hoping that the women, or I'll just say people, because I'm really pushing, I need the men to buy and to engage. But I hope that the people that read this book get that sense of encouragement and knowledge that each and every one of us has the ability to do more and be more if we just believe in ourselves and push for the greater.
Powerful, 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 powerful. This has been an amazing interview tonight, ladies. Y'all have shared some powerful stories. This movement, it is a movement. It's a movement. And I know our listeners, I know you all have to go get the book. You have to now. You have to. But I would love for our authors to tell our listeners how they can follow you all on all social media platforms so that they can continue to connect with you and buy the book. Starting with Ashley Cruz.
Okay, my social media platforms is Hairventions. I have an IG account. I also have a Facebook account as well, and I have my website, www.hairventions.com. I didn't get a chance to really go into what Hairventions is. Hairventions is my mobile hair care and wellness company. I founded in 2014. It allows me to style my clients' hair in the comfort of their home, adding convenience to their lifestyle while still giving them healthy hair care tips, nutritional advice, and empowering whatever goals that they have in life. Each styling session is not only about me styling their hair, but it's also we get into deep conversation, and I try to provide as much support and encouragement I can for them to be able to, go on with the next big thing that they have in their lives as well. I do men hair as well. I style men hair, and that is the same routine as well. We get connected, we get deep. I still have a bond with them, and I still give them the healthy hair care and overall health tips as well. I also have written an ebook. It's called A Guide to Healthy Hair and a Healthier You. And basically it's just combining my two passions, which is hair and health together, and how they intertwine and relate to one another so that you not only achieve healthy hair growth, but overall health and wellness. That's why my handles are Hairventions, because it is coming from my business that I actually have been going on for 5 years now. And that's how me and the visionary, Dr. Marcy, actually connected through one of my clients. And they seen that we both had a relation with the wellness field, and we started doing Wellness Wednesdays, and I talked about hair and health. And now we're Sisters for Life, and we're on this Thrive Girl movement, creating this book, and it's just been amazing so far, and I know it's going to continue to be amazing. But again, you guys can find me at Hairventions, that's HAIRVENTIONZ.com for my website, or my social media handles, which is Facebook and IG.
Amazing. So please follow and support Ashley. She's doing some amazing things. Kathy, will you please tell our listeners how they can follow you on all social media platforms?
You can, on Facebook, you can follow me at Kathy Upshire, and it's the same for Instagram. Also, if you do a hashtag Broken Wings Coaching on Facebook, it'll take you to some of the power boosters that I've been posting in the past year from my book, Woman, Find Thyself. And also, if you want a copy of Thrive Girl Thrive, you can go to my website at www.kathyupshire.com and just scroll down to the bottom and just fill out the little form, giving your name, your email address, and indicate whether you want a copy of Thrive Girl Thrive or Woman, Find Thyself, and then I will get back with you. And you can also reach me via Facebook Messenger as well if you want a copy of the book as well.
So please follow Kathy. As again, these are some amazing women. These are people that you have to know and need to know. Dr. Leslie, would you tell them how to follow you on all social media platforms?
Sure. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Dr. Leslie Hodge. So that's DrLesliehOdge, all one word, Dr. Leslie Hodge, and that's on all social media platforms. Or if you want to purchase the book from me, signed copy, you can feel free to email me at thrivegirl@scriptsandbeyond.com. And Scripts and Beyond is my company, which does medication review and consulting for patients and caregivers, and branching off into doing it for agencies as well. So if you need that pharmacist focused on you and that one-on-one time with the pharmacist to understand your medication, Scripts and Beyond would love to serve you.
So definitely follow Dr. Leslie as well. She's another one that's all over the world. I mean, when I say she's a world traveler, internationally and nationally. So definitely follow her, okay?
Appreciate
Dr.
that.
Dr. Lisa Green, would you tell our listeners how they can follow you on all social media platforms? Yeah, because she is out the country. Okay. Makita House. Okay. Megan
Yes,
Copeland.
I am here. I'm here, and you can follow me on Facebook, Makita House, and my first name is spelled Makeeta. Instagram, also Makita.house. WishfulWellness.com is my website, and I also am on Instagram, wishful.wellness as well.
So please follow Makita. I think Makita has a show as well, so support her and all the great things that she's doing as well. So Megan Copeland?
Yes. You can follow me at Megan Copeland Global, and that's on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I am also at info@Megan Copeland. It's spelled MEAGANCOPELIN.com. And that's it.
So definitely follow Megan. She's doing some amazing things. As I said, her story is very powerful, so make sure you all get the book. Meg, will you please tell us how to follow you on all social media platforms?
Yes, so my social media is under my name, Meg, M-E-G, last name, Nocero, N-O-C-E-R-O. You can go on to Facebook, Instagram, also I'm on Twitter and LinkedIn, and you can just request to follow me there. If you email me at megnocero@mac.com and make a request for a signed copy of the book, I'm happy to connect with you there as well. Like I said, my webpage as well as www.megnocero.com, where I highlight my company. It's called Butterflies and Bliss LLC. It's a transformational coaching company, as well as speaking, and also all the magical things I do you can find on my webpage. So you're welcome to connect with me there as well. And I look forward to connecting with all of you. Thank you.
So please connect with Meg as well. You can see her lately on a lot of front covers of magazines, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's outside of my box, literally.
Yes. Dr. Tiffany, tell us how we can follow you and connect with you on all social media platforms.
Yes, ma'am. So you can follow me and connect on Facebook at Dr. Tiffany Taft, the number 1. You can follow me on Instagram at Dr. Tiffany Taft or at Sacred Soul Wellness. The name of my business, again, is Sacred Soul Wellness, and you can email me at info@sacredsoulwellness.org. And if you want to buy a book, you can buy the book from my website. The website is www.sacredsoulwellness.org. Just visit the Wellness Boutique and scroll down towards the bottom, and you'll see the 3 book options there.
Thank you. So please follow Dr. Tiffany. I watch her and consistently follow her, too. She's doing some amazing things. I would like to thank all of the amazing Thrive Girl authors for taking the time out of you all's busy schedule to come to the table to share your stories. And I can't wait to see the amazing things that this movement is going to do in the world. And special thanks again to the amazing visionary author, Dr. Marcy Ross. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome.
Thank you for this opportunity. This was awesome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you. So I would like to special thanks to Tammy Collins.
Your seat at the table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs,